Welcome to Complete BS, the official podcast of couch coaches everywhere. Not just football. It's every sport that ruins your parlay, wrecks your fantasy week, and still brings you back for more. Buzzer beaters, blown leads, and brackets in flames. Yeah, we're all over it. Unfiltered takes, armchair analysis, and enough bold opinions to fill a playbook. Hosted by Brien Schmuck, sports junkie, the Saban of stats, and your official voice of I could coach better than that. Let's go.
Hey everybody, I'm Brien Schmuck, and let's talk some football. What do you got for me, AV?
BS, what's going on, man? You want to talk some coaches?
Let's do it.
Let's start at the top then. Who's the best coach in college football right now, according to you?
For my money, I think it's Dabo Swinney. He's got 2 national titles. He's got multiple conference championships. He's been doing it a long time at Clemson. He's doing things the right way. Kirby Smart's right there, probably like 1B. He's also got the 2 titles, multiple conference championships. Just doesn't have the same longevity. Kind of 1A, 1B there for me.
Dabo hasn't won one since 2018, I think. Is that right? I think 2016, 2018, they won one. Kirby's won 2 since then, but they're both winning 10, 11 games like every year.
And they're both top 10 teams this year. Absolutely. They're going to be in the thick of it.
One of the things Kirby did that was impressive was went 8-0 in the SEC 3 straight years, 21, 22, 23. Who are your favorites outside of the top 2 obvious?
So if I were hiring a coach today to start a program, if I'm the athletic director, I'm going out to Oregon. I'm going to Dan Lanning. I don't think you're pulling Kirby or Dabo from their jobs. Dan Lanning, it would take the right job to pull him, but he's the guy that I'm going after. I think he does things the right way. I love how he builds his staff. Great defensive mind. He's a tenacious recruiter. He's bought into NIL. He's head first into it. I think that's the top guy you look at. If I had to go a second route, I'm looking at Notre Dame's Marcus Freeman. Took them to the national championship last year. They don't play in a conference, so no conference championships, no national titles. But I think Marcus Freeman has Notre Dame playing at a really high level every year, and he does it at a really tough school to recruit at because of their academic standards.
Yeah, I don't think you can pass up on Marcus Freeman if you get a chance. Like, let's say you're Oregon. Let's say BS University hires Lanning. Could Oregon pull DeBoer?
No, I don't think that they can pull him, but Alabama pulled DeBoer from Washington. Washington's a good job, absolutely. It's not Alabama. Oregon has lost the last 2 coaches, Willie Taggart to Florida State, Mario Cristobal to Miami. It's not a destination job, at least not right now. So I think he's attainable.
They don't have the credentials yet, but they have kind of the chops. Do you have any of those?
Sure, I love Rat Lashley at SMU. I think he's a phenomenal coach, great offensive mind. SMU's got all the money backing them up. I think they're here to stay now that they're back. And I'd also look at, if I'm going even down, maybe another level into a group of 5, I have always been really high on Toledo's Jason Candle. I think he's somebody that should have gotten a Big Ten job years ago. It has blown my mind every cycle how he hasn't gotten a Big Ten job. He knows that area recruiting there in Southern Michigan, North Ohio. So he's somebody that I would look to if I'm a Big Ten AD. Why he hasn't gotten another job? Maybe he's had offers and he wants to stay at Toledo. I don't know. But that's somebody that I've always really liked in the job that he's
done. I got to believe he's had offers. He's a great coach. I like Lashley quite a bit. What about like Kenny Dillingham? He's at home, so I don't know if he'll go anywhere. But like if Alabama or Georgia comes offering, he'd listen, right?
So, and I think he's at home. It's different. Arizona State versus Georgia. He's at home.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big difference. It would take the right job to pull him out of the Valley. He loves it there. That's where he wanted to be. But if somebody comes calling, if Lincoln Riley gets fired at Southern Cal and they want to go after Kenny Dillingham, I think he's taking that phone call. An opportunity to go to Southern Cal, big program in Los Angeles. You're now in the Big Ten, all the resources there. I think he would answer that call. Absolutely. He's a great coach and really up and coming. I think he's got Arizona State primed to get back to the playoff this year.
What's your opinion of Fran Brown?
Brian Brown hasn't been doing it too long. I think that this is year 2 at Syracuse, but man, he's a recruiting machine up there. He's got a lot of things going in the right direction for him. It'll be interesting to see, can he sustain it?
Give me the most overrated coach in the country.
Most overrated coach. I don't know that necessarily overrated, but just he doesn't get it done. And for me, James Franklin, Penn State, he's a 10-win coach virtually every year. Hasn't beaten Ohio State in the last 8 attempts. He's good for 10 wins. He's good for 2 losses. Will he get it done? This year, his team is loaded. I also put in that same category guys that get the least out of the most talent. Brian Kelly at LSU, Mario Cristobal at Miami.
What coaches do you think need to have a big year this year? Big season coaches?
Well, I kind of already mentioned him a little bit when we were talking about Dillingham, but Lincoln Riley at Southern Cal, he's got to have a big year. If you're Southern Cal, you're sitting there. We brought this guy in from Oklahoma. He's the quarterback whisperer. He's got to have a big year, and he hasn't done it yet so far. Quarterbacks have come through there. They're gone. He's got a new guy in this year. He does have a 5-star recruit as a backup right now. So we'll see. Does the starter, is he able to step up, or are we going to the backup and we're now running out there a true freshman? Big year for USC and what they can do. He's got to get to that 9-10 wins. Absolutely.
What about Norvell? Does he need a big year?
He's got to have a big year. For me, I think he's got to make a bowl game. A bowl game will at least quiet things a little bit and say, all right, we've rebounded a little bit. We still got some rebuilding to do. If he doesn't make a bowl game, look out. It's going to get real loud in Tallahassee. So 6, 7+ wins is bare minimum. I've seen a lot of folks in Tallahassee thinking that they could get in that 8 or 9 win range, but I think you just need to get a bowl game, and that shows progress, and you can build on that.
I'm going to throw a couple other names out. Venables, that seat's going to start getting hot if he doesn't have a good year. Hugh Freeze, people are going to get frustrated with him if he doesn't have a good year. This one I'm hesitant to say, but I'll throw it out there. Billy Napier. I think he's, if I'm remembering right, 6-7, 6-7, 8-5. So he kind of turned the corner last year. On Lagway, there's kind of a futuristic look. He's got things on the right path. But if he regresses, things get noisy in Gainesville, I think, if he's 6-7 again, or 7-6 even.
Sure. With Venables, he's got a 10-win season sandwiched between 2 6-7 seasons. And this year, the schedule's brutal. I think his last 7 games, the opponents last year won 70 games. He's got no margin for error. He's got a real big game in week 2 when Michigan comes in. He's got to start fast. He really needs a 6-0 start to start the season. So that Michigan game is huge before you get into those last 7 games against the SEC. Hugh Freeze, he's a Mario Cristobal. He wins the offseason. He recruits amazing. And then you get to the season and it's kind of like, ho-hum, really? That's what we've got for all this recruiting that we did. We brought in all these portal guys. We got these high school guys. Did we develop anybody? So yeah, I'm with you there on Hugh Freeze. I think that he is somebody that needs a big year. Auburn's always going to be compared to Alabama. Everyone in the SEC suffered under the success of Nick Saban. Now he's gone. So you've got maybe a little bit of a window, but if DeBoer is able to this year have a big year, then that really hurts Freeze as well. And then with Napier, I hear you with everything that you said about Napier in his season. Yeah, absolutely. If they don't take the next step, and you've got what I think is a transcendent quarterback in DJ Lagway, best quarterback that they've had there since Tebow, if they're not able to take the next step, then yeah, I think there's going to be some problems there in Gainesville. However, I think Florida does take the next step. I'm really high on them this year. I'm really high on their offense.
Since Napier's taken over, they're 3-5, 3-5, and 4-4 in the SEC. He's got to do better than that to take the next step. But I think he will. If there's a Big Ten coach, I was thinking like Shiano. I was looking at his records. He's 5-8, 4-8, 7-6, 7-6. I know that that's kind of home there for him and they like him, but that's not getting it done at all.
Yeah, I don't see them pulling the trigger on Schiano. He's left them once before. What is Rutgers really looking for, and what are they going to be happy with? I think that they're good right now. If I had to go to somebody outside of Lincoln Riley at USC within the Big Ten, I might look at Luke Fickell. And just at Wisconsin, I know he's still new there, but they missed a bowl game last year. They had a long bowl streak that they broke last year. He's somebody that got it done. He had been a really good coach at Cincinnati, had a really good resume at Ohio State. I loved the Luke Fickell hire and the fit with him going to Wisconsin. So far, it hasn't worked. We'll see what happens this year. They're going to have a tough year, though. A bowl game is going to be tough for Luke Fickell. I think he survives this year. He just needs to get the players in there.
All right, tell me this. Who, in your opinion, is the most polarizing figure in college football?
Man, when you're talking polarizing, can there be anybody but Coach Prime? I mean, if you're a Colorado Buffaloes fan, you love everything that Prime has brought to Boulder. The money, the notoriety. I mean, if you're the admissions coordinator, you love everything about it. Admissions are up at Colorado. Everything in Colorado is going great, except then you've got a lot of negativity around him also. And what's he going to do when he doesn't have Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter? Last year was a 9-win season. They just missed the Big 12 championship game, made a bowl game. But what are you going to do without those two guys? They brought in Kaidon Slater from Liberty, the quarterback, and then they've also got the true freshman in there. Are they going to be able to take the reins over and take that program and keep it moving? At least being a bowl-eligible team, I don't think they're going to win 9 games, but can they still stay bowl-eligible? I think they're probably somewhere between a 5 and 7 win team, but they're not going to be a 9-win team, and then we're going to have to see how long this Prime experiment lasts. So we've gone ahead and talked about college coaches in 2025. Stay tuned for our next episode, and we're going to get a little bit deeper into college football.
Thanks for listening to Complete BS. Be sure to subscribe, share, and follow us online. And tell us what you think of this episode. Use #CouchCoachNation, and let's keep the conversation going.